YouTube. This is Mr.Lubufu, and I'm here with what's going to be a bit of a bonus episode. This is going to be the powered cube on Magic Online. Go ahead, and I'm going to draft 3 rounds. I'm going to choose Swiss so that way we can definitely get 3 rounds out of it. But we're going to be drafting the Holiday Cube, which is the powered cube. Hopefully I'll be able to record this. This is currently being recorded in January, so at least a few good months in advance. So we'll see how this goes. But we have the powered cube, and it's about to fire, so it's firing off a lot faster than I expected. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have. So, for powered cube, you want to be doing degenerate broken things. So in this pack, we have like a normal cube. You'd be like, oh, Jite is very good. There's like Boros Reckoner, Brimstone Volley, or Thundermaw Hellkite, or Eureka. But for us, we get it nice and simple. We get a nice piece of power in Mox Sapphire. If Necromancy tables, it means that Reanimator's open. If Eureka tables, probably means that Mono Green is open. But until then, we get to take a nice simple Mox Sapphire, be super content with that pick, and we get to move on. So let's see what's the next most powerful thing. Tooth and Nail can be very, very powerful. You kind of are forced into a specific archetype. There's Vildalkin Shackles, which is a lot better in quote-unquote fair cube. Crucible of Worlds does allow for Crucible Strip Mine to be a viable combo. But this pack is sort of very weak when it comes to what we want. I could just take a Volcanic Island and try and go Storm and that sort of thing, and Blue-Red is a very powerful archetype. That's why I'm leaning towards, at least. It's that or Shackles, one of the two. I think I'm going to take the Volcanic Island and see what comes next. I'm looking for a nice signal. So Inferno Titan is very, very powerful, except it's currently bugged on Magic Online, so I'm not going to touch it. Armageddon is a card that I love to draft, perhaps more than most people, but I don't think that is a direction I want to go quite yet. The effect is very strong. I'm leaning towards right now Worn Power Stone. Very solid artifact ramp. The artifact deck can be a thing. So I'm just going to take this Worn Power Stone, keep myself a little bit open, looking for these sort of artifact sub-themes that exist in the Magic Online cube. And who knows, maybe we get a Wormcoil Engine or something ridiculous to ramp into. This pack is kind of lackluster. We have the Greatest Thief in the Multiverse in Dak Phaeton. Ajani Vengeance, very good. There's Jace, there's Necrotal, there's Wildfire. I think I'm just going to take Dak. Dak Phaeton can do a lot of good things in Powered Cube. And stealing artifacts becomes far more relevant in that case. I don't think we're a Smokestack deck, which is unfortunate. Compulsive Research is fine. Mystical Tutor is also fine if we had something to fetch. Mystical Tutor is a little bit better in Storm. We could just take a Scalding Tarn. It's either Scalding Tarn or Compulsive Research. I don't think this is a Chandra Pyromaster. And as much as I like Smokestack, I don't want to be a Smokestack deck. So I'm just going to take this Compulsive Research and see where we go from here. Well, that is a Nicol Bolas. There's also Goblin Welder, which is kind of what I want to go into the artifact thing. We haven't seen many of the good ones, but I think I'm just gonna take Welder here and see where we go from here. Sorry, Nicol Bolas, it's not your turn. Anyway, I think going into this sort of broken artifact theme is where we want to go. So Duretti would be a good find. Any of the very powerful artifacts. So Wormcoil Engine, Mere Battlesphere, Blightsteel Colossus, any of those. Blightsteel is kind of less good because you have to have Welder in play to be able to do it. I'd be fine taking a Tinker or anything like that if it shows up. Time Vault, if we get lucky. So our last pack with new cards in it, and there's an Entomb. There's Raphelos, which is surprisingly still running around. There's nothing like particularly that I want to go if I want to go into the artifact deck. I could just take this Entomb and see where we go from there, just because I like Reanimator. Kind of a gutsy pick. Raphelos kind of commits me a little bit heavier to green, and Entomb, if we get Entomb with Welder, is also not that bad. So that's not the end of the world. Kind of seems like the blue-red artifact deck is kind of not existent right now. So that's why I'm starting to touch onto these other archetypes. Hopefully they're around. This is going to be our first real sign, our first signal, if you may, to see what sort of things tabled, so we can get a feel for the rest of the table. I don't think Storm is where we want to be either. So let's just see what happens, because it could go a lot of different ways. If we get the reanimate spells, like Dak Faden's also not that bad, because he does get to cast Faithless Looting. Compulsive Research does the same sort of thing. So let's see what tabled. I guess I miscounted. We've got one more pack before it tables. There's Shriek Maw is very good. Sulfuric Vortex, though I don't think we're a Sulfuric Vortex deck. Could just take the Arid Mesa. I think the Arid Mesa is probably what I'm going to take. Having a nice fetch land. And you can already fetch up our blue-red lands. Pretty nice. Okay. So Necromancy tabled, Eureka tabled, Ravages tabled. So if we hadn't taken the Mox, we could have had Ravages and Armageddon, which would be a good place to be. Now the question is, do I take Necromancy or do I take Ravages? It's like, which one do I want to be? I want to be the Necromancy deck. So currently I'm in Grixis. And now I just want to start getting the fatties to reanimate of sorts. So we can take Ashiok, we can take Crucible, take Go for the Throat, or Mizzium Orders. I guess I'll take the Ashiok. It's not that bad in Cube. Being able to exile instead is actually not that bad. Woodfall Primus, not a bad one to reanimate. The question is, do I still want to take it, or do I take Lodestone Golem instead and focus more artifact heavy? I think if I'm going to reanimate stuff, I'd rather reanimate Gristlebrand or Iona or anything like that. Guess I'll take a Wildfire. Wildfire, it's okay. So right now we sort of have like this Grixis control-y shell of sorts. It's kind of not what you want to be doing in Powered Cube. It's pretty weak right now. Just go Planeswalkers. Sure. I'll just take the Planeswalker just for the sake of it. Take Helix. I'm probably not going to play. And Kami. Okay, so what do we want to open? We want to open Wormcoil Engine or Blightsteel Colossus or something like that. Something nice to reanimate. Power's also not bad. Ooh. Well, these are cards. There's Unburial Rites. There's Angel of Serenity, Consecrated Sphinx, Cryptic Command, Faithless Looting. I think I'm just going to take the Unburial Rites for starters. It's going to make, if we get Gifts Ungiven, very, very good. And we can always get more fatties to reanimate. But I think with the Unburial Rites, we want to go down this path. Sword, I love Sword. This is unpowered cube, though, so I can't take it. I could take a Grave Titan, which is not bad. I'm just going to take a Tezzeret here, though. The artifact theme seems to be not that bad. And there you go. A very powerful artifact guy and a very good reanimate target as well. There's Green Soul Ring, which is very good. But Sundering Titan, definitely what I want to pick up. So it seems like you can go like Reanimator or Artifacty. This Tezzeret Select. Plus put an artifact, or you can make an artifact to 5/5. Not bad. So still feeling pretty good about this. If we get Gifts Ungiven for obvious reasons, if I get an Iona or if the Grave Titan wheels, I'd be quite content with that as well. I don't think it will. But it gives us more options if we want to entomb. Entombing a Sundering Titan and having a Goblin Welder in play is also not that bad. We're going to have to fix our mana base a little bit better if we want to do that. But this seems like a good start. It's sort of like torn in two directions, so we're going to have to fiddle with that just a little bit. Make our mana base a little bit better to help support the flashback on Burial Rites too, but that shouldn't be too bad. And hopefully Magic Online did not crash, because I have seen this happen before, and it is not a pleasant experience. Seems like it's not, so... Or maybe it did crash. Come on. You want to work. Okay, so it sort of crashed, but now we're back. So in this pack for us, Null Rod is kind of sad. We don't want anybody to take that. I could take Thoughtseize, which is probably what I'm going to take. It's either Thoughtseize or Mesmeric Fiend. And I'm just going to take the Thoughtseize since everybody's trying to do broken things in this cube. Having a little bit of disruption is kind of nice. Here, what do we have? Nothing particularly. Like we could have Academy Ruins, which isn't that good for us specifically. Charlotte's Agent, but we're not in green. Duress, Bloodline Keeper, Pernicious Deed. Like, we're not in green. I think I'm just going to take this Academy Ruins. Maybe we can pick up something nice with it. This pack, well, there's the Gifts Ungiven, so gonna snap that up so we have Gifts Rights. And now, well, that is an Inkwell Leviathan, an artifact, which is great, and a reanimate target. So we have Gifts Rights, which is nice. I could take the Animate Dead, or I could take the Imperial Seal, or the Una's Prowler. Unfortunately, I want all three of these. I think, so we have Necromancy on Burial Rites as Reanimate. We have Entomb to put stuff in. I think I'm just going to take the Imperial Seal. Offers a little bit more diversity. Here, could be Bone Shredder, could be Overgrown Tomb or Geist. I'm just going to take the Bone Shredder. It's playable. Nether Void is not a bad one. It basically makes all spells cost 4 more, which is great if it's post reanimate. But I'm just gonna take the Urboric here. Fixes our mana base quite nicely. Here, you could take Wrath. I'm just gonna hate draft the amazing ramp spell. Hate this Null Rod. Do I hate the Null Rod? Or do I take Theta Adele? I think I'm just going to take this Null Rod to my sideboard. So currently we have 2 very good artifact targets for Unburial Rites, or Goblin Welder, or Necromancy, or anything like that. So that's not bad at all. Quite content with this so far. I would like, we have an Arid Mesa to get the white for Unburial Rites, which is kind of nice. The question is, do we play, are we just like splashing red for Welder? Or what? But it seems like we're on the right track to doing some broken things. Just have to get the right pieces. And here, nothing I particularly care about. I guess I'll take the Sculler for the sideboard. And I'll take Isamaru. I don't care about Negator. And probably not going to table anything of relevance for the last pick. So for those of you that don't know how the Gifts Ungiven on Burial Rites is, Gifts and Given reads, you search for up to 4 cards with different names. Opponent chooses 2 and put those in your graveyard. So what you do is you just choose Unburial Rites and, let's say, Inkwell Leviathan. And then you don't choose anything else, which means they both definitely get put in your graveyard. Which means you could just cast Unburial Rites on Inkwell Leviathan. Which is pretty nice. It's a nice way to end the game pretty fast. Well then, these are cards. There's Kozilek, if you were going there. Balance is very powerful, though I don't think we're a balance deck. There's Hollowed Fountain, which might be for us, since it fetches blue and white, can't be fetched with Arid Mesa. Necropotence is very good. We don't have a good Isochron Scepter deck, and I don't think we're a Force of Will deck either. I think I just want to take this Hollowed Fountain and be content with it. Fixes our mana base, which is kind of what we need, so I'm just gonna take it. Well, there's the Emrakul. So we could take Mishra's Workshop, which currently doesn't tap for much, but I think I still want to take it. There's Yogg-Will if you're in Storm, Metalworker. I don't think we want the Abyss. I think I'm just going to take this Mishra's Workshop. It's too powerful not to take. Show and Tell, you can get wrecked by. We don't care about Karakas. Vampiric Tutor is another tutor effect, which is not a bad one. I don't think we want LED. We could take Marsh Flats. So it's either Marsh Flats or Vampiric Tutor. I'm just going to take another tutor effect. I could take Show and Tell there, but Show and Tell gets you too good in this cube. There's too many good things that people want to do. Here, not much really for us, unfortunately. Talrand doesn't do much, so you don't have that many instants or sorceries. Savannah doesn't, we don't need green. Spirit of the Labyrinth is just going to be a 3-1 that we're not going to be able to cast easily. Kind of a disappointing pack, really. I guess I'll take the Detention Sphere, I guess. I don't think we're going to play this Mishra's Workshop, which means that we wasted that pick. That was probably a little bit greedy of me. I guess I'll take the Detention Sphere for the sideboard. The off chance we need to play Detention Sphere. I know, I think having double tutor is pretty nice. It means we can find whatever piece we need. The rest of this is kind of lackluster. Not my best cube draft to date. Seems like the artifact deck may have been a little bit overdrafted. We do have 2 good reanimate targets, which is, again, very nice. Tezzeret can help find them, and we can discard them. So what do you have here? Basalt Monolith, or is it Signet? That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. There's 2 good green cards. I can take the Rakdos Signet. Question is, do we want blue, or do we want black-red, or do we want blue-red? We're going to take Basalt Monolith. I think I want a Signet. And I think I'm going to take Rakdos Signet. Let's see. Rakdos Signet is a little bit better on our splash, since we want it to be able to produce black. So I'm going to take the Signet. Nice to have at least one Signet in these decks. Signets are pretty powerful. They can do a lot of work. I think I'm missing anything. I don't want to play Null Rodmain. Ooh. Wow. Do we take Tezzeret? Do we take Gristle Daddy? It's hard to say no to Captain Gristles. Question is, do we have enough reanimate targets or not? Tezzeret lets us fetch nothing too important. I think I'm just going to take Gristlebrand. We could take the Tundra, but if we're going to be playing Unburial Rites with something, I'd rather play it with Gristlebrand. It's just so powerful. being able to draw 7 cards and then set up the discard one of our other fatties. Here, we could take Curse Scroll, which is not for us. We could take a Dragon Skull Summit, which is probably what I'm leaning towards. Fire Ice is okay. Brainstorm, we have what? 1 fetch? 1, 2, 3 shuffle effects. 4 shuffle effects. I don't think Brainstorm's quite where we want to be. I think we're just going to take this Dragon Skull Summit, make my mana base a little bit better. For what we have, at least. And see what happens from here. Hopefully we can pick up at least another Signet, another couple cards. Currently we have 20 non-land playables. Shieldred or Reanimate? I think we have enough big fatties. I think... Oh, Shadow Mage Infiltrate is cool. I like the new art. I'm just going to take this Reanimate. Gives us another Reanimate spell apart from Necromancy and Burial Rites. And being able to, like, turn 1 into end of turn, Entomb Inkwell Leviathan, just reanimate it, and it just beats a lot of decks. Which is pretty nice. And then having some early Planeswalkers and early threats. I don't think our ult for Dak Faden is that good. Balance or Necro. I don't want Necro because it exiles it. I guess I'll just take Balance and hate that away because it's the most powerful effect by far. I'm going to probably bring in this Wildfire. Since we may need it. I don't foresee us wanting a lot of lands. So we could take Metalworker or Magma Jet or Riftwing Cloudskate. I think I'm just going to take Riftwing Cloudskate. It's a nice simple thing for us to do on turn 2. It's a nice tempo effect. It's not the best in the world, of course, but sometimes being able to suspend a Riftwing Cloudskate and then force someone to deal with it. So there's Karakas or Putrid Imp for us. So we have Entomb and some discard outlets. I think I'm just going to take another discard. I don't want Karakas. Really? I don't think I want Karakas. I'll take the Putrid Imp. This pack's empty, so I'll just hate this Crozen Grip. And we get an Isolated Chapel, which is kind of nice. Okay, this doesn't seem like that bad a deck. Oh, the Tundra tabled. Nice. So the Tundra tabling means our mana is, again, very, very good. And so our goal is just to reanimate something big. We don't have Iona, unfortunately, which is kind of unfortunate. But we have Gristlebrand, we have Inkwell Leviathan, we have Sundering Titan. Those 3 can be pretty good when it comes to dealing with most issues. So if we have 9 lands, that's 24 spells. Mock Sapphire counts as a land, basically. So 10 lands, 23, 17 lands total. So we add 7 more lands and we're good. That'd be 16, 17 lands. Yep. So we get to add. The question is, do we play this Workshop or not? Or do we just play a basic? I think I'd just rather play a basic when it comes to the Workshop. Nothing I particularly want to play in main board, so I'm just going to go ahead and add the lands and see what we need. Do we want a basic Plains? So we have Tundra, Hollowed Fountain to be fetched by our Arid Mesa for our white from Burial Rites, which is our only white that we need. So I don't think we need a basic Plains because we also have Isolated Chapel. And if we get a Plains, we're just doing the same thing. We want 4 swamps because we have early black sources. Yeah, I think this looks good. Okay, and submit. See you guys in round one.